Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Jordan. Today, I'm doing a quick video talking about chess. A lot of people ask me, how long does it take me to get to a 1200 rated player? How long does it take me to get a 12, 13, 1400 level, whatever, from a complete beginner? So, I am an adult. I just started playing chess in my 20s, my early 20s, right? So, I'm going to give you guys a real quick breakdown of how long it took me to get to from a complete beginner that barely knows how to move the pieces, starting in my early 20s, to about a 13, 1400 level rated player, which is where I am now. Depending on, whatever chart you use. It's different platforms, chess.com, Light Chess, USCF 5. They're all a little bit different from each other. But, so about a 13, 1400 level rated player to I started about a 300. Okay, that's what I started as a complete beginner that barely knew how to move the pieces. It took me to go from 300 to 13, 1400. So the first 5 months it took me, okay, to go from a 300 to about a 1300, okay. After that, I stopped playing for about 6 months, barely playing, maybe once in a great while. Other than that, not really. And then I stopped playing for 6 months, dropped back down to about 1,000 level rated player. And then after only 2 or 3 weeks of practicing again and getting back into it, I already bounced all the way back up to my peak and already went past it and beyond it over 1,400 after only 2-3 weeks of actually playing it again. So altogether, about 6 months of actually playing, it took me to get about 1,400. So, I mean, if I was actually playing nonstop the whole time without a break in between, who knows? Maybe I'd even be better. Maybe it'd be up to 1,500 after 6 months. I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, all I can say is for sure, I mean, it was about 5 months it took me to get from a 300 complete beginner to a 1,300 or so rated player. That's without any studying. That's almost no studying at all on any kind of openings or anything like that. Very, very little. Maybe like little YouTube videos I'd watch once in a great while about this opening or that opening, but very, very seldomly. Mostly, I would analyze some of my games for sure. I would definitely analyze a lot of my games. Try to make some improvements, especially if they're a tough game that I lost, or it's just look for better opportunities. So yeah, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really take long, guys. You don't have to really study to get to the 1,400 level rated player. As long as you're practicing and analyzing your games, it's mostly just practice, and you'll get better. It's just like anything in life. You practice, you get better. It's just that's practicing within that window as an adult beginning, 300 to 1,300 rated in 5 months. That's about practicing maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, maybe 5 days a week or so, maybe 4 to 6 days a week on average. And yeah, I mean, yeah, you'll get the improvement quick. I'm not sure how long it takes other people on average, but for me, that's about how long it took. It took about 5 months to go from 300 to 1,300. After 6 months break, 2 weeks of coming back, 2-3 weeks of actually playing again after 6 months of not playing at all, went from 1,000 to 1,400. So, because when I came back, obviously I was a little rusty, so I dropped back down to 1,000 from a 1,300, and then I was able to bounce all the way back up to over 1,400 in less than 3 weeks. So, that's just my rundown of how long it took me. Like I said, how long it takes you could vary. I don't know if that's above average or good, or I'm not sure, but yeah. I almost forgot to mention, guys, number one key ingredient for getting improving in chess and having good days in chess or whatever is sleep. I notice on a bad day where I don't get much sleep, I'm just if I miss even, if I only get 6 or 7 hours of sleep, if I don't get my whole 8 hours, if I miss just 1 or 2 hours of sleep, guys, I could literally be 100 or 200 points lower rated player on that given day. My rating could literally drop over 100, 200 points in a day just from not getting the sleep. And then I come back the next day, on a bunch of sleep, and I'll literally bounce my rating way back up and go over 1,400, 1,430, literally just yesterday, my rating dropped over 150 points on one day just without getting any sleep. I was getting stomped on by guys 300 rated points lower than me, all day long. And then I came back the next day after getting a lot of sleep, And then, you know, my rating went all the way back up to where it was, and then beyond that, you know, over 1,400. You know, it went from, like, literally a 1,400 rated player to, like, literally 1,200 overnight. And then the next day I get to sleep, and I come back, and I go over 1,400 all the way back up to almost 1,450. So it's literally could vary that much based on how much sleep it is. It's literally that insane. It could literally vary over 200 points depending on your sleep. Sleep is literally the key. It's literally everything. Literally 1 hour of sleep could literally drop your rating over 100 points. Just by losing 1 single hour of sleep in a certain night. So definitely pay attention to that. And just seeing that and experiencing that, this just shows how important sleep is to your cognitive function in general, and it's just literally everything. So yeah, I mean, if you ever have a bad day where you're just getting stomped on over and over and over again, you probably just didn't get enough sleep. It's literally, I don't know why it's not talked about more in the chess community is sleep, because sleep is literally everything, guys. It's literally everything. I mean, literally, on a day to day, one day to the next, you could literally drop over 200 rating points just by not having a good sleep, you know. So, yeah, other than that, I mean, that's all I can really say, guys. You know, that's not within really any studying, you know. It's just, if you want to study, go the extra mile, go ahead. You know, I didn't have to do that to get to 1,400, 1,450 rated player. You know, it's just, if you have any questions, please comment down below. Let me know how long it took you guys to get good at chess. What age did you start? I'm not sure. I mean, you know, I really feel like as an adult you can learn faster. Just because you're obviously smarter because you're older than if you started as a child. Like, I mean, obviously it might be better to start as a child because then you have your whole life to practice. But I think you can increase your rating faster if you do start as an adult, because obviously you're a little bit more intelligent. You can pick up the game a little bit better than, you know, just with anything. You can pick up anything better than a child, you know, obviously. So obviously if you start as a child, you might, you know, obviously have a head start over an adult, but you're not going to see the same progression. You know, if a child starts at 200 and an adult starts at 300 and they both practice for a year, you know, a child might be like maybe 800 or 900 after a year, whereas an adult might be like a 1,500 after a year. Who knows? But yeah, other than that, guys, man, if you got any other questions or concerns or whatever, like, let me know in the comments below how long it took you. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day. Like and subscribe the video.